By 1969, the Chevelle had become a real winner for Chevrolet. It was the ultimate muscle car as far as a big car went. You could order it with an L78, which was a 396, 375 horse. A lot of guys ordered it with a 4-speed and a 12-bolt, and you had a real performance package. If you wanted even more performance, you could have went to Don Yanko and ordered the Yanko Chevelle. Well, this one happens to be a Copo Chevelle, and the reason it's a Copo is not because of some performance options, is because of the color. It's a dash paint code. The owner of this car, Mac Hunsucker, has been working at this dealership for the past 30 years, long before Dale Earnhardt even bought it. Mac calls this Carolina blue, but to me it looks like powder blue, and that's actually what GM called it. And Steve Crisp, who's been along at this dealership almost as long as Matt, says that's why they built these powder blue cars, was to keep the sissies out of the black ones. I get the feeling Tom would really like this color too. But whatever the color is, let's just take this L78 for a spin, because it still has 375 horsepower. You know, as soon as you fire up this car, you hear the 375 horse has a solid lifter cam, and it's just clacking away. Now, the nice thing about these cars is they were really straight line performance cars. They had the, this one's got a turbo 400, had the 12-bolt posi. You could get on a little bit, and they got up and went. As you're driving down the road, this thing's got the Firestone wide ovals on it, so they're bias ply tire, and you can feel them grab the ruts a little bit, but it's still a good, smooth ride. And unlike some of the Ford products, the Mustangs and that, these were a full frame car, and they really drove a little bit nicer. They were a more refined car. You didn't get as much wind noise, you didn't get as many rattles or shakes. They were a bigger car, they were a heavier car, so they didn't handle quite as well. You know, had some neat options in this car here. It's got the rosewood wheel, it's got the gauge package, it's got an AM/FM with the 8-track. As we're going along these roads, we're in Carolina foothills here, and the car really performs nice. It drives along nicely at 60 miles an hour. You can let go of the wheel. It's a good, honest, fun muscle car. What we're going to do now is look for a little straightaway and see how this thing launches. As you get on it a little and go through the gears, this thing pulls pretty hard. In a quarter mile, a car like this probably does a 1350, maybe a 14 with the Firestones on it. Put a slick on it, and you're probably in the high 12s. As for braking, it's not bad. It's a fairly heavy car, but if you stand on the brakes, you know, it gets the job done too. It doesn't pull left or right. The disc brakes help with that, and it works pretty nice. Because of the full frame and the coil springs all the way around, it's not really a great handling car, and keep in mind the car is fairly heavy. This was almost like a family car that had some performance. Now in a straight line, it's a different story. But if you're going to go around corners, you might have to do a little work to make it really work. This particular car is a really great original car. The car's had one repaint about 10 years ago, and I'm in a quality repaint. All the chrome was taken off, all the moldings were done. You know, door jambs are still original paint and they look perfect. Trunk is a mint original trunk. Under the hood has really never been restored. It's just a great original car. When you drive this car, you know it's never been monkeyed with. It's a super tight car. Option-wise, it's got the 375 horse, it's got the 12-bolt power steering, power brakes. I mean, it's got a ton of neat options. A car like this, in this sort of condition, all the chrome's been done, it's got a mint original interior in it, has to bring somewhere around $30,000.